Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Um, Today I'll be talking about my Mozart cadenza that I wrote. So for one of my classes, I had to write a cadenza in the style of Mozart, and we had to use theme groups from specifically Mozart's Last Piano Concerto and his first movement of that piano concerto to simulate what it would have been like way back then when they were improvising their cadenzas to show off their improvisation skills and their technique skills. So, with that in mind, here was my process. So we had a lot of theme groups that we were given as part of the project, and I noticed that a lot of them had a very similar recurring motif. So a lot of them had da 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 da, like that rhythmic stuff of eighth, 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 quarter, quarter. And I like a lot of them, like 4 or 5. So Mozart was recycling a lot of his ideas, which was great for me because then I was like, okay, I'll just reuse a lot. I'll just mix them and go from there. And so the next thing I did was I played through the theme groups, and I had a few favorites, and so then I took those favorites and developed like some measures, like a little theme, like experimental thing. So, for instance, I took the first theme group that he gave us, and I wrote like 4 measures of my own accompaniment style, what I would do in a cadenza type thing. And then I did that for like 3 other theme groups, just to like get a sense of things. And that's usually what I do when I compose, is I write, I have like a bunch of themes in mind, and I kind of orchestrate or accompany them, and then I try to figure out how to transition them. So that was my biggest challenge, was trying to figure out how to transition them, trying to figure out where I wanted to go harmonically, if I wanted to stay in C the whole time, or if I wanted to switch. Eventually I did have most of my theme groups in C, but if my transition parts would go all over the place and then come back to C, and then they'd go all over the place and then they'd go back to C. So yeah, that's mostly what I did. That was my process. So, and then I was thinking, well, as far as how to connect them, because that was a big problem that I was having. I was trying to think, okay, what am I good at technique-wise? For instance, Mozart uses a lot of broken octaves. So it would go like da 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 da, C C B B A A G G, like that. And that was doable for me, but also I have really small hands, so I was willing to do it, but also I was like, if it's supposed to showcase who I am as a technician, I'm not going to write in broken octaves. That's really hard for me. So in my cadenza that I wrote a lot of scales. I wrote a lot of arpeggios. There were very few blocked chords. There are only a few, and I really only used that for effect, and not really for harmonic context. Or context. It was really for like effect. So that's what I did as far as like technique wise. I was really surprised, actually. We were supposed to get it up to 50 measures, and when I wrote it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this way past 50 measures, but I didn't. It was like 56. I couldn't believe it. So let's see other things that I did. One thing I was unsure of that I did was I did a lot of like, not a lot, 2 times that I did this 2/4 thing. So I was in 4/4, and then I had one measure of 2/4, then I went back to 4/4, and I did the same thing here. I'm just not sure if that is something that Mozart did or would do. I don't remember if he did that. I don't think he did, as far as my memory goes, so that might be something that's less idiomatic. The other thing that might be less idiomatic is these arpeggios they're just going up. They're not broken or patterned in any way, and that I'm not sure if that would have been something that was done in that time, because I know the keyboard was quite small, and I've really only come across this type of arpeggio, as far as I can remember, in romantic style and in contemporary sort of accompaniment song arrangement type style. So that was something, but I just kind of said, whatever, I'm going to put it in anyway, anyways. And then the last thing was I had this extremely fast, extremely long triplet scale, and the only thing was I couldn't fit it in just from, I think, C2 up to the top, because I didn't want it to go all the way up to the top. So I did put it up at I think it's C1, honestly. I started at C1, so I'm just not sure if that was something. But I'm really proud of it, and I hope that maybe one day I'll be able to play it and perform it when I have better control of it, because some of the stuff was really, really fun to play. Like, I had a bunch of arpeggios. Like, this was really, really fun. I just tore right past it. But unfortunately, in the video that I uploaded, I couldn't go that fast because there's some parts that I wrote that are really hard. So, or at least hard for me. So I couldn't get it up to the speed that I wanted. But anyways, that's my video talking about the cadenza. If you are at all interested, I'm glad that that you watched all the way through. And I'm glad that I had this assignment, even though it was hard and took up a lot of time. So, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.